Hi, I'm Dr. Matt B, and these are your emotional minutes. And it's actually been a really hectic day, and I'm here in the coffee line, and I realize one of the things that I think will bring up my day and bring up my mood and give me more positive emotion is to actually do an act of kindness. So when I get coffee here, I'm actually going to go ahead and buy coffee for the car behind me. Now I'm in this situation where it's been a hectic day, and I've got some stress. I'm experiencing some stress for the day, and really my emotional state is not really consistent with an act of kindness. It's kind of, when we're in those kind of more negative or stressful or say maybe it's anxious or depressed, or when we're in those negative states, we really don't feel like doing positive things. It's just sort of not something we really want to do or want to deal with. But this can actually be something that, if you can sort of push your own emotional envelope a little bit, which I'm going to try to do now, and even if the positive behavior doesn't really line up with how your mood is, and even if you feel like you're just sort of going through the motions, it actually still has a lot of benefit. You actually end up feeling a lot more of that positive emotion. And I didn't plan to do this. I actually just started filming because I realized, hey, I'm in this situation. I've had a hectic day. I went to get coffee, and I realized, you know what? This is actually a great time to talk about acts of kindness and try out an act of kindness, really, even as an experiment, just to kind of see how it goes. Hey, how you doing? Can I put that on that? And then can I buy coffee for the car behind me? I'll just put this toward their order. Thanks a lot. Have a good one. Thanks. So I just got done buying coffee for the car behind me, and I actually didn't know who that person was. Today, in talking about acts of kindness, it's really engaging in acts of kindness for others, really on purpose. Again, and even if we don't really feel the desire to, that can be one of those really helpful things to help really boost our own emotions. And again, this can have some of the similar effects that other positive emotions have, where they sort of focus our attention away from negative things and toward the positive. But one real big effect that these can have is, regardless of how the other person feels, these can actually make us feel really good about ourselves, kind of give us a sense of sort of accomplishment and value, and kind of make us feel, hey, yeah, I did something good for someone. And that can really sort of, again, boost our positive emotions, but then also boost our sense of self, and sort of an improved or a more positive sense of self actually can really help, not only improve our own mood, but then also sort of combat things like depression or anxiety or things like that. It can also improve our social interactions. When we are in those sort of moments where we're interacting socially, it actually improves or enhances our confidence as well. The action that we do in terms of giving other people kindness, they can really affect the other person. Now, the other person might have a positive reaction, but really, again, we can't control other people's reactions. So no matter what reaction they have, it can actually give us a positive reaction and a positive sense of self. And actually, that can be a really good and beneficial thing. Now, sometimes people will say, well, isn't this just kind of, using acts of kindness for sort of selfish reasons? And really, in the definition of selfishness, that definition actually doesn't include the benefit of someone else. And if you're giving a positive emotion, even if you're going to get some benefit out of it yourself, or excuse me, an act of kindness, it actually inherently can't be a selfish action if it is benefiting another person. Again, no matter how other people feel, it can really be something that's really beneficial for us. And so, what are some ways to engage in acts of kindness? So, some examples might be, again, these things like small things we can do in everyday life. Maybe it's buying someone else coffee. Maybe it's making something for someone and giving it to them, like if it's someone at work or someone in your community or a family member. Sometimes things like giving blood can actually be an act of kindness. It's sort of a generous sacrifice that you might make for someone else. Even just saying hello to a stranger on the street, it can be small things that don't cost you much time or much money. Visiting an elderly neighbor or a relative, bringing food to a family member. Again, these are all things that, can actually boost our sense of positive emotion, but then also sort of boost our sense of self. And these are usually best done if they're not things that we have to do anyway. So, for example, if you've already volunteered maybe to bring a family member to the doctor's office, and you're sort of thinking about, hey, what acts of kindness can I do this week? It's usually better if it's something that you didn't say, oh, okay, well, I already agreed to that, I'll just make that my act of kindness. It's usually better if it's something that, you might plan out, or you might do on the fly, or a combination of both, kind of scheduling or doing these things off the cuff. But really something that maybe is sort of a new thing, a new novel activity, something that, is sort of a new plan that you can make. And it's usually good to, kind of similar to the gratitude journaling that we've also talked about, is it's really similar to engage in all of these things at once, say once a week, and really doing them like 4 or 5 of them at a certain time. And sometimes people like to even journal about these things, so they do 4 or 5 of them, say on a Saturday afternoon or every Saturday afternoon, and they write down, sort of how it made them feel, what their emotions were, what their thoughts went to after they did it. And that can be another way to sort of boost the attention toward these positive things. One of the things I actually did is in this exercise with the coffee, it was sort of unexpected, off the cuff, and so is this this Emotional Minutes video. But another thing I did is I actually bought some coffee for a friend that I'm supposed to go visit at his workshop that he's building. So basically, I'm going to take him a cup of coffee. So I'm going to go do that now. I'm going to bring that to him. But again, hopefully that was helpful today in talking about acts of kindness and different things you can do, whether they're sort of pre-planned or off the cuff. But either way, they're sort of intentional things. And they can be small things. They can be things that, you do a little bit of time, you take a little time to do, or something you create. Hopefully that was helpful today. And again, I'm Dr. Matt B., and these are your Emotional Minutes. And stay tuned for more ways that you can boost or enhance your positive emotions. And we'll see you then.